straight.
Okay.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Okay, you want to ask me a question?
Can you tell me a little bit about the historical background of the show?
What I explore in this play is being trapped in a no man's land between cultures, which I think is something that happens to all immigrants in some way or another. You know, you've left the country that you're coming from, and then you arrive in a new country, but it takes a long time before you feel like you're really there. But for Soviet Jews, there was this kind of extra layer, because in Soviet Russia, for the Jews that were trying to leave, if you applied and you were refused, you became a refusenik. And after that happened, you were not allowed to work anymore. You had no one in your family had any way of making a living, so basically all you could do was scrape by and hope that you would have a chance to get out and pray. And people lived like this for years.
Awesome.
Yeah. I would like to do that one again.
Okay.
I feel like I spoke a little weirdly.
No, it was really interesting.
Well, thank y'all.
So tell me a little bit about the historical background.
I wrote this play as a way of exploring kind of the dynamics of this no man's land that I think a lot of immigrants experience. After you've left your home country, even after arriving in your destination country, in this case America, I think for a lot of people it takes a really long time to feel like they're really there and kind of the culture that they came to. And then for Soviet Jews, there's kind of an extra dimension here, because if you applied to leave before the Soviet Union fell, as hard as that was, some people got out and some people were refused. And if you were refused, you became a refusenik, and you were basically trapped because you couldn't leave, but the fact that you had applied to leave meant that you could no longer work. You basically lost the few rights that you already had. And so people were really in this horrible situation where they were kind of, you know, they kind of already shut the door on one life, but they had no chance to get into this other world. And people lived like this for years.
What do you think your family or your, I guess, cultural group that's here in New York will think of the show?
I really hope that I hope it makes them laugh in recognition.
Start over, but say the little bit of my question.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that the Russian Jews who see this show, I hope that it makes them laugh. I hope that they recognize themselves in kind of different characters, and I hope that they feel that their experiences as Soviet Jewish immigrants were, you know, represented and brought to light and kind of shared with the world.
And what do you hope that people who, like me, aren't Russian or aren't Jewish can take away?
I just hope that people who don't know much about Soviet Jewish immigration, people who kind of don't know, I hope that people who don't know much about Soviet Jewish immigration walk away with, you know, a sense of what these people went through, a sense of the culture, and just a sense of that history, which is actually still living history, and so many people.
That was good. I know where you're going with that. It was good. So try one more time.
Okay. I hope that people who didn't know about I hope that people who don't know as much about Soviet Jewish immigration, who I guess are not part of the culture or maybe members of the culture who haven't really thought about it, I hope that it illuminates the experience for them, and gives them some awareness of this history, which is still very recent. It's still living history.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.